I bring you another replay. I'm Master Kambai, also known as Multi-Victor. I will show you my best fight I ever had against a Kindle player. That player is really skilled, I must admit it. That was amazing. I enjoyed my time. So I hope guys will enjoy this replay as well. Let's do this. As usual, I will be really fast on the first few turns because it's boring to watch infantry walking around. We have similar opening. Now, here is the huge difference between the both of us. You got a transport and I got a tank. This means this capture game will be a bit better than mine, but my early tank game will be better than his tank game. I create a second tank as opening. Now he creates the early recon that I found really bad after a lot of game played. And he creates the tank as well, so this was a good turn for him. So now I'm moving toward these buildings because I want to capture these buildings. I create my first anti-air because I know Battlecopter will be used, and I also know Battlecopter will be good in this map. So there's nothing to say, that guy is having a better capture game than me right now. Now, I'm like, okay, let's go toward the center, because that's where the action will be happening. Now, at that point I was like, okay, let's interrupt that cap. I have a second tank to back me up. And I knew if he had a tank, my tank would be crippled, but at least I will be able to damage one of his tanks. And this is good for me. So I create a third tank because I expect the first one to probably die after a few firefights. I also create a recon and infantry. So our opening are really similar. The huge difference is the transport. Now this was a great link below. You see 8 HP, that's more than expected. I thought I would get 7 HP del 2 and then probably 1 HP. So I expected to have at least 2 HP after the fight. And that recon was well thought. Going after my infantry to stop me from getting the com tower. And he goes for his com tower one turn earlier than me, and he also rushed my com tower. Creates tank and battlecopter. Now this is where the game is getting spicy. I shut down the transport because transport are really good in this map, and I go for the building. Then I take the shot there, and I join both of my tanks. Now I know if he has a second tank around, I will lose my tank, but at least I dealt a lot of damage, so I created a second tank, another tank in the bottom part, and a infantry as well. Now he wipes out one of my infantry. This was a really good shot for him. And right now I have no answer to that recon on the com tower. So this means he denies me the com tower. And this will affect the game much more than you think. So now he interrupt my cap. I'm really pissed off about that at that point because I know he will be able to get that building there. Because I'm liking in firepower, and Kindle day to day is really good in this map. So now he goes for my HQ, and at that point I'm like, really, buddy? Really? Are you laughing at me like that? Why? So I send this to repair, and I take the shot to the infantry. I try to disrupt this cap. I try to shut down more infantry because I know if I try to cap, I won't make it. And this is where he will get the upper end at that point because I cannot really compete with him in the center. And now you see this tank can go there and here this is a major mistake what I did by sending the tank there because there's a battlecopter that can get the firepower increase and the tank. So at that point I was really stupid and stressed out to see how good was that guy. So you see 8 HP again gone on my tank. Poof, just like that. Now he will shut down my tank. I was surprised my tank survived. Now you see I cannot interrupt that gap. If I interrupt that gap, then I cannot get that building there. So at that point I'm like, okay, I will probably lose, but I still want to see what will happen next. How will this guy beat me? So right now he took the edge. This is really good for him. Take out the infantry, retreat the tank, take out another infantry. I need to make sure he does not get that com tower. If he gets that com tower, I am done for. So I go for the com tower. I try to kill that recon, and when I realize I'm out of space and I cannot kill it, I'm really pissed off. I'm like, okay, whatever. Now we are even in income, but the value gap between the both of us is not that huge. And you see now, I'm more cautious about the buildings, because I know that Kindle player is no joke. So he kills my infantry, he goes on a building, and I'm like, oh, well, that tank will suffer if I take first strike. Now, he did a huge mistake, killing his own recon to interrupt my cap. Recon are always good, even with 2 HP you can gather intel. If you just kamikaze your recon, this is bad. But I must say, in his situation, that's not that bad. It's bad, but it could be worse. Because in his situation, he was already winning. He already had the upper end over me. So I take out one of the tanks. I join cap. Make sure I get that building. And at that point, I'm also stressed out because I expect the Urban Blight. That's why I joined cap. Because if he used Urban Blight and one unit, it would be enough to deny me the com tower. By joining cap, even with Urban Blight, it will be harder for him to interrupt my cap. So I create a second artillery tank and tank. So now instead of staying on a building to recover, I go in the forest because I expect the Urban Blight at some point. I'm like, this is a Kindle player. Kindle player likes to use the Urban Blight. And this is true. The Urban Blight is one of the most busted powers in this game. The best way to escape it, well, it's to create infantries. But that's the turn you don't have tanks out. Yes, of course, in some maps you will be able to get a battleship instead, and this will be good. But long term, it's not always good to miss the drop. What gives him the true edge is the fact that I cannot get that building, and he knows it. That's why he pressured me. I cannot get that com tower as well, and he got a building in the center, and I got none. So at that point, this guy is playing really well, and this is just challenging to survive against this guy. Even if I am Nell, like, she's overrated. In my own opinion, she should be tier 1, not 0. She's good, that's why I was able to keep up. She is overall a better seal than Kindle, but if you have a good Kindle in play, that same good Kindle can probably destroy any good nail. Because overall, Kindle has more to offer. Yes, um, Nell is a better seal, but Kindle has more to offer. So what I mean by there is Kindle has a global damage uh, power, Nell don't. Kindle has a really good day-to-day while you stand on building. Nell day-to-day is good because she has no weakness, but you can say the same for Kindle as well. She has no weakness. So I think that power was really good. I broke the game at that point. I was able to flip the table a bit in my favor, but not having that building means I lost a lot of money, and now he still has more money than me. And I just got my com tower after many turns of him denying that said com tower. Now you see, I'm ahead of him before his turn picks up. But now look at the crazy ice society she's playing. This is a really good ice society, and you will see why very fast. Now, when I see that ice society, I knew how strong she was, and I knew she had a good push at that point. No more tanks, no more tanks, no more recon. Now you see, she took so many good engagements. It's crazy. And now she battlecopter spam, and this is good because battlecopter are good in this map. Takes out one of my tanks, takes out the anti-air. So now at that point, I knew he won. But I kept going because I was like, maybe I will get a good power. Maybe one good power will flip the table. Maybe I will be able to get that building. Maybe I will be able to do a tie. Now you see the gap between the both of us? 30k. Even if I take good engagement, I cannot keep up. So now I will go faster because you all know, like, my current situation, how bad this is. So now I have fish there. I shoot that infantry. Now I try my best to get rid of the battlecopter, and I really suffer a lot at that point because I'm like, okay, I cannot really keep up. But I try my best because this was a fun game. He takes out one of my infantry, my anti-air as well, my other tank. Now he is just rolling on me. Going there was for intel gathering, and this is good and bad because it's like stacking your battlecopter. And you see, I can keep up even if he has better income, better value. I keep up because Nell is really good as a seal. She's a overall better seal than Kindle, but Kindle is still no joke. My own opinion, Kindle is like high tier 2 and Nell is probably low tier 1. So they are really similar. They are not that far apart, in my own opinion. If Nell was truly tier 0, I think I could have won this game. If she had more luck, if she was a better seal than she is already good. So I take out the tank, I take out the infantry, I take out the battlecopter, and I use my power. Because now, I'm like, I'm desperate. Let's use Lucky Star. Because what can I do more? And look at that. I dealt 2 HP damage. And boom! 7 HP damage. At that point, I was laughing hard. I was going all crazy about that Lucky Star. I was like, I took the upper end. I can win this. I can go to the center and make it even. I felt empowered when I I used that Lucky Star. Look at that. I damaged that thing so much. Now our value will drop. And I'm impressed. I'm like, oh my, this is really happening. And now I did a huge mistake. I lost sight of that tank, so I was not able to shoot it. That was a huge mistake. But I was so excited about that Lucky Star that I was like, okay, okay, let's do this. And I get trapped. And I knew he had a thing there. I knew it. But I still went there because I felt lucky. So you see, I get a second medium tank out and 2 infantry. And look at the value. Our value met mine. At that point, I had hope. I was like, I can win this. I can win this. Look at the value. We are almost even. She will surpass me again because she get more money each turn. And because now that's only the start of her turn. But my power was more than worth it. And now another super for her. At that point, I was like, okay, I did roll on her last turn. Now she will cripple me. Look at that. Killing things like they are nothing. Killing units. This was such an amazing super for him here again. And you see, he only has a 23k income, and look at the firepower. It's just amazing. Battlecopter tank, and she's cool. But she don't care because she's kindle. Now you see, it's twice the value again. So after her super, I was demoralized. But I was like, okay, I have infantry in the center. Now, maybe he will do misplays. Maybe he will get unlucky. Maybe I can make it even. Maybe I can have a tie. If I steal this building, I can have a tie. I will just need to steal the building. So I take out the tank, the infantry there again, the battlecopter, the other battlecopter. So at that point, I'm like, if I'm able to get one building, I can make it even. Our value are similar, but he's still ahead of me. And this is the turn where I realized I lost for real this time. I still keep up. I'm like, maybe I have hope, but I had low expectation looking forward. So I take a shot, take a shot, take a shot, take a shot. I considered using my power, but at that point I was like, half of my engagement are already done, and all I can do is using the power to kill infantry. So that was not really worth it this time. But if the game kept going, I would have used my power on the next turn, probably. But at that point, you see, he's playing his turn, and now I discover he has a bundle. So at that point, I resign. Yes, I could have taken out these infantry, but since he controls the center, even if I did such thing, he would have won. So this was a very intense fight, and I hope you guys enjoyed my replay. Like, comment, and subscribe. We will see each other in future video. Have a great day.